Welcome to Tri-Cities Community TV. My name is Laura Guzman, and today I have one of the most influential women locally, Kerry Gibson. Kerry, thank you for being today with us.
Thank you very much. That's a very kind introduction.
You have done extensive work when it comes to women's rights and gender equality. Can you tell us more about that?
I have been honored to be included in some work that has happened in our community. It began when I was recruited by United Nations Women. They had heard about some advocacy that I had done for other organizations up in Canada, and I got a phone call one day from the UN saying, we would like you to do what you do for us. And that led to some introductions in October, bringing some diplomats and dignitaries up here and beginning the work that we need to create gender equality here in Canada. Unfortunately, we are ranked 35th, which is a little bit embarrassing for a developed country. Yeah. And so we're hoping to change that.
Currently, what is the work that you're doing with the Women UN Canada here in Vancouver?
Oh, that is many different aspects of our work. Some is advocacy and education and sharing with the community what the United Nations is, as we have not been a part of Canadian policy and advocacy for many years, for decades in fact. However, it has been very well received, and in the background we are doing things like working with our local governments, municipal, provincial, federal governments, to help expand the influence of the United Nations, enabling Canadian women and youth here in Canada, and connecting those resources, the Canadian resources, with the global entities of the United Nations as well.
If we talk about globally, there is a sense of uncertainty when it comes to women's rights.
Yes.
If we talk about places like Bangladesh, taking the marriage age to 0.
Yes.
And in Texas, with a new abortion bill, what is the stance of the UN and your personal stance when it comes to this?
The rights of women are being violated. What's going on south of the border is extremely concerning to all of us. We hope that working within Canada to be a leader in gender equality might help us ride through this wave of uncertainty when it comes to gender equality. We are working, of course, on the issues of child brides and forced marriages, which is horrendous. I mean, in Massachusetts, if a 12-year-old girl becomes pregnant due to a rape, which it would be a rape, it cannot be consensual at that age, and her rapist then marries the pregnant girl, it's a wash. And there's no charges laid on this individual, and that is completely unacceptable, and we have to do everything in our power to correct that.
It is completely unacceptable, and as you said, you're doing work locally and globally to make a change on this. But what can women like myself do to impact global and social change?
Be educated. Educate yourself on what the actual issues are. That's the place to begin. Become an advocate. Pick a cause, pick all the causes, and become a voice for it. And then realize that nothing happens without funding, without financing the larger enterprises. We as women have been brought up to not speak of money. It's a bit of a bad word, but we need to ask for what we need. We need to ask for what we want, and what we need is for the world to stop paying $1.5 trillion toward cleaning up the effects of gender violence. I mean, if we were funding the prevention of gender violence, for instance, and the prevention of forced marriages and the consequences that occur from these things, these horrific instances, then we wouldn't be paying out, and we would be enabling our GDP. We would be raising and rising as a community.
That's right. You're bringing up really important points. When it comes to gender equality, and specific, when it comes to the issue of domestic violence, here in Canada, it's an issue that a lot of people say that it doesn't exist.
Oh, no. It exists everywhere. Unfortunately, the statistics for women who experience gender violence are extremely high and far too high for Canada. What was it? I believe it was at last report. It was 1 in 4 women, Canadian women, experience gender violence, and that is completely unacceptable.
We need more people talking about these issues because there is a sense of ignorance in a way. There is a lot of people that don't know what's going on, and we need more people speaking up like you. Another question that I had for you is, where does all your drive and passion for these issues come from?
Well, if I'm not doing it, then who will, right? And I'm not doing it alone. There are many women, as we experienced last night at the Shakti Awards, who are very driven to ensure that we do whatever we possibly can to stem this and reverse this and provide alternatives for healthy communities.
As you said, we were at the Shakti Awards yesterday, and you were awarded with the Shakti Award for Resilience.
Yes.
You have also been awarded globally for the UN Women 50/50 Champion Award.
Yes.
How does it feel to be awarded with this?
It's very kind of these organizations to recognize the work. I hope it just brings some awareness of the work that we are doing within Canada and globally. As an award itself, I don't require the accolades. I just think it's a great way to bring attention to the actual cause.
Yes. What would you say to young women and to young men as well, because we need everyone involved to make social change, that are looking to pursue a career like you and be really involved in the community?
I think it would be lovely if everybody had a bit of advocacy to their world. I enjoy the growth of corporate responsibility and the fact that certain organizations are very much celebrating getting involved with their communities in a both hands-on, voluntarily, but with volunteerism, as well as financially. And corporate funding is essential to the work that we do. We could not move forth without it. And it also becomes a bit more integrated that way, of course, because when we work with corporations, we also integrate some of the work that we're doing into those corporations. So there's a bit of the reverse. And so, for instance, a lot of corporations are starting to create gender equality policies and starting to look at United Nations Women as a bit of a leader in achieving Planet 50/50 by 2030, and trying to enable more female leaders to rise to the top, which I am completely grateful for. We need to recognize more female leadership.
That's right.
And break those glass ceilings. But we can't do it without the men in these communities and these corporations. And they have been very, very active in supporting certain women in order to enable that gender equality within their organizations, because they see the benefits. There's financial benefits. There's bottom line benefits to having gender equality in the workplace.
That's right. How can we support you in Canada? Is there any events coming up?
Absolutely. Speaking of child brides earlier, we are hosting a wonderful event, an international gala in support of child brides. We have a lot of people working in the background in order to close these loopholes and to ensure that we annul marriages and provide transition services for children who had been engaged in forced marriages. On May 28th at Krauseberry Farms in Langley, it's a beautiful venue, we will be hosting a Mediterranean-themed gala, you know, a dinner outside in the pastoral fields, and wine, and celebrities and dignitaries from the United Nations. And so this is a good way for people not only to support, but also to become a little more educated on the background of what child marriage is, how it affects North American women and youth. People don't realize that in North America, we have, well, in BC, we have Bountiful. I'm sure most people know about Bountiful and about how, you know, 16-year-old girls are being entered into forced marriages. The fact that that's happening right here under our nose and we have done nothing to prevent that is just sad. Yes. And so we need to step up. We need to be the leaders and say no.
We will make sure to come on May 28th and support the cause. Thank you so much for being with us today, Kerry Gibson. The work that you do is amazing. It's very inspiring.
Thank you.
We're going to take a look at the Shakti Awards. Reporting for Tri-Cities Community TV is Laura Guzman.
Moving on to another Shakti Award, and this one is for resilience, and it is a Shakti Award of Excellence. Now this award has been announced already, but I can't say enough about this wonderful woman, and her name is Kerry Gibson. Kerry is known for her exuberance and her willingness to help all good causes. She grew up playing sports, took psychology with a literature minor because that is what women were pushed into at that time if they weren't going into teaching. After 4 years at SFU, she was involved in an accident with a drunk driver and continued her life as a paraplegic. She then took business management and after a few years was offered the VP of Operations position at the small startup of which she is now the president, EcoCentury Technology. Kerry is currently the Canadian liaison for UN Women and has been named the Planet 50/50 champion to UN Women. And the amazing work that Kerry does for organizations, for community is exemplary. So please welcome Kerry Gibson.
Thank you kindly for this award. I am incredibly humbled and honored. I have been a deep and profound admirer of the Shakti Society for many years. I am a huge admirer of these strong, powerful women that run it, and just as impressed by all these men present who are supporting this women's organization. It showcases the leadership that this community has in the cause of gender equality, the cause that we work for through United Nations Women's policies and procedures, and now that we have such a social government, we have been able to support these programs, support women, move us forth to Planet 50/50 by 2030, and with the representation here, we will actually achieve that. And for that, I am incredibly grateful for all of your hard work, for all of your support, for your grassroots efforts, for your financial contributions, and thank you so much to these lovely women who work day in and day out for the empowerment of women, for children, and for families, for the betterment of all of us. Thank you.